Namaste. I'm Dr. Pallavi Kwatra, and I am initiating this series on self care because I feel that there are so many subjects that need to be touched, and that will help us to honor ourselves, to live fully, and also be free and healthy and happy. So, what I'm wanting to do in this series is basically sharing from my own write ups that have been placed in as blogs on my website. And there is a collection of over 3,000 blogs that I have written so far on many life subjects. And since it's difficult for people to read these days, so what I will do is that I will share screen here and read the blog for you so that you can actually use the video by just listening and absorbing the content. So today's topic is the first topic for the self-care series. And I find that a lot of our issues and emotional pain is basically because of the lack of forgiveness in our life. And therefore, I wanted to speak about this very beautiful practice of Ho'oponopono. And here is a blog that I had written in the year 2020 and which describes this practice. So I will be reading this blog for you. So the blog is titled as The Magic of Forgiveness and Self-Love, Ho'oponopono. The secret of finding the bliss of the self lies in releasing what does not serve us. Clearing space of negative and toxic emotions like bitterness, resentment, and anger makes space for the feelings of gratitude, wholesomeness, and compassion. The great Indian mystic saint Sri Ramana Maharishi made a remarkable and powerful statement when once asked by a devotee as to how one is to treat others, to which he remarked, "There are no others." When we realize that we are a part of the whole and not a person identity complex, we can feel the same compassion that we feel for others as what we feel for ourselves. However, there are so many situations in our life when we are unable to forgive ourselves and carry the burden of guilt and remorse for things having done or undone, for situations and actions that we are not in control, but we believe that we can change them. We hold ourselves guilty and carry unwanted emotional baggage. For ways that others have been mean and unkind to us, or for judging others for the same, we create webs of self doubt and lack of self love. Forgiveness is an earth shattering practice of self liberation in many world traditions all over the world, and its emphasis and potency cannot be overemphasized. In the Eastern tradition, Shama or forgiveness is practiced as a daily behavior and inculcated as a reflex behavioral modality. Christianity breathes and lives the practice of forgiveness, and Jesus embodies the great compassion arising from the highest virtue of forgiveness against those who sinned and pinned him to death. The great Lord Rama faced many ordeals in his human life where he was even wronged by his own family members and yet forgives them all. The Hawaiian tradition of Ho'oponopono is one such shamanic tradition. Ho'oponopono, which means setting right, implies setting right everything for ourselves and others. It points to take complete responsibility for one's own actions. It is quite like the Indian theory of karma. The Ho'oponopono prayer has 4 lines thus: I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I thank you. The magic of these simple words, coupled with breath techniques and visualizations, especially with hands placed over your heart chakra, enables the deep release of past memories of hurt, fear, and blame. It's true that simplicity is a forgotten virtue in today's world, and the truth is expected to be glamorous and forthcoming. However, simple daily practice of Ho'oponopono is one such tool which is subtle and powerful. Like a daily bath, it enables cleansing of auric layers of consciousness from useless baggage of emotions. Ho'oponopono was discovered and popularized by a Hawaiian psychotherapist who cured an entire ward of criminally insane patients without ever meeting any of them or spending any time with them. Sounds crazy. It really happened. The therapist was Dr. Ihakele Kala Hugh Len, and instead of the typical process of reviewing each patient's files and then meeting with them in person, Dr. Len focused on healing them by healing himself. No one wanted the job I did with the criminally insane. They were averaging about one psychologist a month, but I got asked. We had about 25 to 30 people. Half of them would be in shackles at the ankles or wrists because they were really dangerous. They could either kick you or slam you. Everyone would walk with their back towards the wall so that they wouldn't get stuck. They had no family visits. No one could leave the building. A year and a half later, there was none of that. There were people going out on bus rides, nobody in shackles. The level of medication dropped. What did I do? I worked on myself. I took 100% responsibility. These are the words of Dr. Hugh Len. For people living in Hawaii today, Ho'oponopono is less about being a personal shamanic practice through chanting a mantra internally or externally, and more about a traditional system of dispute resolution. It is a practice that still holds the values of making things right and correcting errors. However, in this incarnation, it is focused on making things right with our relations, coming back into the right relationship by correcting errors with living relatives, ancestors, and deities. The only problem with human beings is that they are arrogant because that's what thinking is. This is, in a sense, I know. Wisdom is being in the void, to be thoughtless. Only by being in the void can the light come through. As long as I have something going on in my mind, the light cannot come through. The light can only come in when the mind is cleared and in a state of silence. These are the words of Dr. Hugh Len. So check out the power and liberation by offering yourself to the daily practice of Ho'oponopono. So such a simple 4 lines practice can be inculcated by doing this for a mandala of 7, 11, 21, 40, or 108 days. Doesn't take very long. You just need to close your eyes and bring to your mind all the people that have wronged you or you have wronged, and say these 4 lines by placing your hands on your heart. If you feel inspired to work with the practice, please do that. And if you wish to share your experiences of Ho'oponopono, you're most welcome to mail me at my mailing address. We will continue with more self-care videos. Thank you very much.